If you're a property damage attorney, I'm going to show you how to get signed cases for $500 using Facebook ads. Now, I know there's a lot of people like me on your feed selling you all sorts of stuff, so let's just start with a little bit of social proof. So here we have a screenshot from one of our clients' Facebook ad account. You can see all the leads tallied up here. 133 property leads this month, an average of $46 cost per lead. Here's another one. 347 property damage leads tallied up right here for an average of $47 cost per lead. Here's 60 more from another client. This one is in North Carolina, $70 cost per lead. And here's another one in California, 73 property damage leads for $98 average cost per lead. Now, of course, what you care about the most though is, I don't care about leads, I care about signed cases. So this is a fresh export from a client's CRM, 17 leads from this week. 4 of them have turned into signed property damage cases. Now, I know some of you might not have context, you're not doing Facebook advertising, or maybe you're buying leads, those are all coming from Facebook advertising. Let's talk a little bit about why Facebook advertising is the best way to get leads and signed cases if you're a property damage attorney, or if you're a personal injury attorney now, you're probably looking at property damage as well. So what we have here is our traditional 4-step marketing funnel. When it comes to legal marketing, but specifically property damage marketing, there's really 2 platforms that are gonna drive the most business for you, and that's Google and that's Facebook. And when I say Facebook, I mean Instagram and Facebook. I mean, it's like the Facebook umbrella because Facebook owns both of them. So when we look at Google here, there's multiple different ways that we can get exposure in Google. There's Google Ads, there's Google Organic. And within Google Ads, there's traditional PPC ads, and then there's Google Local Service ads. And then within Organic, there's the traditional organic listings, and then there's the Google Maps Pack organic listings. So there's a lot happening in Google. And what Google is really great for is what we call the mid-bottom funnel traffic, right? These are channels that produce leads from people seeking legal help. So again, people going to Google and saying, I got fire damage, my house is flooded, I need an attorney. Bottom funnel, high intent. That's why it's so good and so impactful. Now, the challenge with Google, though, is the competition, because as an attorney, you can just hire an agency and we can do all this for you. You don't need to do anything. And Google is simply a real estate business, and there's very limited real estate. So the more people, the more damage attorneys that are trying to pile in there, the more competition, the harder it is to get visibility, both organic, and the higher cost it is per click to get visibility from Google Ads. What you also have too is you also have a lot of big personal injury firms that offer property damage. They create this content on their website, they bid on these keywords, and they're just jamming up Google. It's really, really hard, especially in states like Florida, to get visibility in Google. Doesn't mean it doesn't work, it just means you're paying an arm and a leg, or you're waiting a very long time to get results there. Now, when we look at Meta, AKA Facebook and Instagram, what's so impactful about Meta, both advertising and organic, is the ability to get visibility at multiple stages of the funnel. And the reason why this is so important is twofold. Is that one, we can compete for the same traffic, the same eyeballs that Google does, because every single person that goes to Google and searches for something, then opens up Facebook or Instagram 20 times a day and scrolls, we have access to that data, right? They're searching on their phones, they're calling, they're texting, they're talking. Facebook has access to it. We just have to know how to tap into it with ads and do it the right way. But the most impactful part about this is the top funnel reach that we get as well. When we talk about brand, when we talk about top of mind, but even more importantly, when we talk about being able to tap into audiences that don't even know, right, that they could potentially have a claim. So when we talk about somebody whose house was built in 1950, cast iron pipes, they have no idea. So they're not going to Google and searching for it. So there's a whole untapped market that with creative-based advertising we can get in front of with the right messaging, and we can actually create demand. And that's why this is so impactful, because we're tapping into audiences that are not competing with 10 other law firms. They're not calling every single firm that they see in Google. We are creating that case. We're creating that claim by creative advertising. And that's why Facebook is so impactful. So it's not just the cost per lead that's so low, but it's also the fact that you're sole sourcing leads to your law firm, that you don't have to compete with the massive other law firms for that same attention. So again, something else that is incredibly impactful here is the fact that we can actually build brand versus with Google, it's just blue links. And this is something that you probably don't care about. You're here because you want $500 signed cases. But to me, the most important part about marketing and advertising is brand. So when you're using Google, there's no brand awareness. Somebody's going and searching for this. They're opening up 10 blue links. They don't know what they're looking at. They're just picking up the phone and calling. And that's great. It's good for lead generation, but it's not good for brand building. Because when we're doing Facebook advertising, we are continuously getting your name, your face, your employees, your messaging in front of audiences. It's essentially a mobile billboard, but they're not commercials. Right? They're actually pieces of creative that match the messaging and match the creative on the platform that people actually want to see and engage with. So the long-term impact of this is palpable in terms of the brand reach and the brand that you can actually build by using this platform consistently. So do I have your attention? I'm just going to give you now the full funnel. I'm going to give you the full sauce, what you came for, to show you exactly what we do for our clients to generate very cheap leads and very cheap signed cases off of Facebook ads. So I'm going to walk you through the full quote-unquote funnel that we run on Facebook ads. So the first part of the funnel is going to be the actual ads. So when it comes to the ads, the key here, it's a game of volume, right? We don't want to just put up one image ad that says like flooding, right? We want to put up a number of different types of creative in terms of images, in terms of video, in terms of showing the staff, in terms of talking head attorney videos. We want to put up a lot of creative volume and a lot of creative variance. For our clients, we do 20 to 40 pieces of creative per month for our property damage clients. We do all that. I'll talk about how we do that and how we extract that creative from you, because I know you got a lot of objections about how you don't want to get on camera, but this is a creative platform. So ads are the most important part here, because again, we don't want to just run commercials to people. We want to put creative and images and videos in front of people that feels native to them, that they're going to engage with and actually want to take action on and want to watch, as opposed to just jamming a commercial in front of their face. So after that, we send them to a custom landing page. We build all this for our clients. We do different types of landing pages too. We'll A/B test them, meaning we'll set up different headlines, right? Property damage, roof damage, flood, leak, fire, all the different types of claims that you're after. We'll set up all these different tests and we'll match it to the ads. So we'll get very targeted, very direct traffic to this. Now, the important thing here though too, is on the lead capture form, we always run them through a quiz, because this is how we get signed cases, not just leads, because you're going to get a lot of bad leads anytime you're putting any sort of claim about compensation on the internet. Trust me. So we run them through a lead capture quiz that runs them through 8 to 12 different questions, and they fill it out based on what type of damage they have, when it happened, when their home was built. We have a very customized form that we'll use based on your law firm, but also based on our experience here. And if they fill it out and it doesn't meet the criteria of what you tell us a qualified lead is, you won't get sent the lead. It gets aired out, they get sent to a no thank you page basically, and you don't actually get sent a lead. And this is important from a Facebook targeting point of view as well, which we'll talk about, but we're basically pre-qualifying the leads before they even get to you. Now, once they fill that out, you can see there's also a phone number here. We track this phone number, so if somebody calls, you're getting that lead as well. They go into a lead management system where we have all the leads stored. Every single lead that comes in, we see the date, we see the name, we see all the questions. So we have this on our end, which you also have access to, and then we pipe this directly into the CRM that you're using, where we fill out all the automations, text message, emails, it gets sent directly to your intake team. There's all sorts of things that we do. So we're tracking this 360 from ad all the way through to signed case, and we can see the exact ad that it actually came from all the way through. So this is the full funnel. This right here, $5 million business in a box. Take it if you want. We do this for all of our clients. It's quite a bit of work, but we've done this so many times now that it's basically second nature to us. So step 2 here, let's talk about the ads. I've already mentioned this a couple times. Stop making commercials, right? And this goes for your social media organic too. People don't want to see horizontal video. They don't want to see you in a suit in slow motion talking about how much experience you have. They don't care. That's commercial, right? That's for late night television. We also don't want to see you talking about yourself. Here's an ad. For over 35 years, our law firm has dedicated its practice to the injured and throughout New York. Turn to us, and then a picture of the lawyers. Like, we don't care. We do not care. When we're scrolling social media, when we're on the phone, when we're on the couch at nighttime, when we're doom scrolling in the middle of the night, we don't want to see that. We want to see stuff that engages us, that entertains us. So the type of creative that we make is very different. One is we're going for all vertical video. We're about 90% video right now, and I'm just going to show you 3 ad examples that we've done for our clients. And we have different styles that we'll do too. We have like what we call creative buckets. So one is called like a talking head, and this is a talking head video right here.
Let's say you have your insurance policy, you have a claim, you're in the process of getting your claim adjusted with your insurance company, and all of
Very simple, right? We basically put together a video script, we send it to the client, they put it on a little teleprompter on their phone, they record it on their phone, send it back to us, we do all the editing. These are very good, right? We want to hear from people of authority, other attorneys, intake people, anybody that you have inside your law firm that's willing to get on camera, we'll take it. Now you might be again saying, well, I don't want to get on camera. That's not what I do, I'm an attorney. So another type of one that we'll do is we call this like a B-roll video. So this is basically like a behind the scenes video from inside of an office of a property damage attorney, where they're basically just going out and they're talking about the different settlement checks that come in. They just announce in the office, everyone claps. This ad crushes it. Why does this crush it? Because this is what we call native or organic. This is something that people would see on their feed. You notice the text overlays, it looks like an Instagram story, right? It looks like something that I would have created just naturally when I'm posting about, you know, my friends and my family. So this is the type of creative that we love. So if we can't get type A, then we'll get type B. Can't get type B, then we'll move into things like type C. And this is where we are using more AI generated videos, right? But again, same thing, vertical video, we're generating images and videos of property damage types of claims, and then we'll put an AI voiceover on top of it. So this is only 3 of 10 different types of creative buckets that we have. But what you're seeing here is that creative is ultimately what drives success. When clients come to us and they're like, hey, I saw your video, really liked it. We're doing Facebook ads ourselves and we're not getting this type of results. Can you tell us why? I don't even have to audit their account, because it's not about the targeting, it's about the creative. Facebook is a creative-based platform. If you want to compete here, you have to be able to put creative that people want to see, because we can't go into Facebook and target people that have flooding in their homes. We just can't. So we have to use the creative to get them to stop, build an engagement pod within the platform, send the conversions back to Facebook, and then Facebook knows who we want to target. So that moves in to the next part of this, right? So part 3 of this is all about the actual, we call this the media buying part of this, or ads management. And I'm not gonna lie, this stuff is still very complex. And I always give this example, this analogy of pizza, right? In this industry, it's not that it's so complex that you need to go to school for this. You don't. I learned how to do this stuff on the internet. I didn't have to go to 8 years of school like you did. But it's kind of like pizza, right? You eat pizza here in Miami, and you're like, that's pretty good. And then you go to Italy and you eat pizza, and you're like, wow, like how are 3 ingredients? How is flour, cheese, and tomatoes? How is it so much better? And it's because of the quality of the ingredients, right? It's because of the care, the attention to detail. And that's really what the media buying comes down to as well. So what we do here to get the most success, this is what the back-end ad buying platform looks like, is we are going in and we're saying, okay, what types of cases do you want, right? Let's talk about who that looks like. Let's talk about what their pain points, their fears, their anxieties are. And then we're building and mapping very specific creative to those: pipe damage, fire damage, water damage, hurricane damage, all these different types of cases. We're building a pocket of different ads, and then we're matching that to a pocket of audience on Facebook that we can actually target. And then we're matching that to a very hyper-specific landing page with a hyper call to action. So we're creating this what we call consistency and congruency through. And what that does with Facebook is that the more that you spend and the more those conversions that you send back to the platform, right? Because like I said, we can't go in and type in, give me people that have been denied insurance claims because of fire damage on their home. We can't target that. That's illegal. So Facebook knows who we want to target twofold. 1, by the creative assets that we give it, and 2, based on the conversions that we're sending back into the platform. So we set up custom conversions, which are qualified leads, right? So only the ones that get sent to your intake team. The more of those that we send back to Facebook, the more Facebook knows who you want to target. So we're able to hyper and jumpstart that process by using these hyper targeted funnels, like mini funnels within a funnel, if you will, that allow us to go after these specific audience, get conversions quickly, and then send those conversions back within a couple of days to really scale up the ad campaigns and get to those cost per leads within the first month, right? Like if you're not seeing leads within the first couple of days, there's an issue with your targeting or your creative. So how long does this take? Facebook is gotten much better, but I always like to be honest with our clients here in terms of how long the results take here. So the orange line here shows you the cost per lead. You see that on the left, and then the blue line over here on the left is the performance in terms of number of leads. So you can see month 1 going into month 2, you'll see a spike, some leads coming in, but a spike in cost per lead. But you can see the cost per lead goes down over time as you get more leads coming in. And this is what I was talking about, is that the more leads that we send back, the more Facebook knows who to target. So the targeting gets dialed in over time. And this becomes a process where we're just constantly pushing new creative into the platform. The more creative we push, the cheaper the lead cost gets as well. So I would say within the first 7 days, you're going to see leads. Within the first 30 days, you're going to see signed cases. But when we get to 90, 180 days is when you're really starting to see a very low cost per signed case and a higher quality as well, because we're able to make adjustments based on your feedback to be like, yeah, like, you know what, actually, these Hurricane Helene claims, they're still people that are coming in for them, but the juice has been squeezed out of that lemon. Let's cut those off and let's focus on cast iron pipes. Let's focus on roof damage. So we're able to get these things really dialed in based on the conversations that we're having. Now, I've heard it all from you. I've heard it all from every type of attorney, but specifically in this space, my target client isn't on Facebook or Instagram. Yes, yes, they are. There's every single person in this country has either Facebook, Instagram, or WhatsApp installed on their phone. I don't care if they're 10 years old. I don't care if they're 100 years old. They are on Facebook. They're checking it, either Facebook or Instagram. Our ads run on all platforms. We're able to get them. Trust me, I do it every single day. Another one is, I've tried this before, the leads are garbage because no one's actually looking to hire a lawyer from Facebook or Instagram. No, they are. Trust me, you're just using the wrong creative and the wrong messaging. So again, if you're just going after, if you're running the same type of ads that you run on Google, which are just straight bottom funnel, right? If you're trying to compete for the same audience that you are on Google, you probably already lost out to them because they already went to Google and searched for it. But if you're looking for those pockets of people that are unaware of what claim that they might have, that's when you start to make some real money here. I don't want to be that guy or gal. My clients don't want to see me with a cell phone in my face all the time. It doesn't represent me well. Yes, it does. The biggest law firms in the world are on social media. They're creating organic content. They're on video. Get over yourself. And if you don't want to do it, we have ways to do it without you anyways. And then finally, I don't have the time or patience or knowledge to do this. That is why I exist. Underneath this video, there is a calendar with my calendar. It'll take you directly to my calendar to book a time with me to talk about your property damage law firm, to talk about what you're currently doing for marketing and advertising. And then I will show you actual real campaigns that we're running for client. I'll take behind the scenes and show you exactly how we can do the exact same thing for your law firm in terms of getting you signed cases for $500 or less for real valid property damage claims. So just hit the link below. It'll take you directly to my calendar. We'll talk soon.